Hi guys, so today I'm going to talk to you about how to perform a press up. Now a press up is one of our kind of fundamental movements that we learn when we first begin our whole gym experience, okay? And the way we're going to perform them is by making sure we maintain our form, particularly for our shoulders and particularly for our midline, okay? And what we're going to focus on, first of all, is actually our elbow position. Now commonly, we see a lot of people flaring their elbows out to the sides, okay? Now what we want to think about is actually pulling our elbows in and creating like an arrow formation with our body. So you imagine your head is the tip of the arrow and your elbows are the two points at the ends, okay? So in terms of our positioning, what we want to make sure we've got is our shoulders are going to be stacked underneath our wrists and our elbows, okay? And then from this position here, we want to focus on our elbows going back behind us, okay? Not our typical position out to the sides, okay? Because the advantage of keeping our elbows tucked in is actually allow our big back muscles to support our movement, all right? So that's our first key focus with this movement is elbows back, create that arrow position, okay? And then think about pushing your elbows back, load your back, and then press through to that top position. The next element we're going to look at is switching our midline on. Typically, we often see, particularly as we get tired, we see this dip in our lower back. And it's essentially we've chose to switch our midline off. And our midline is going to give us a lot of support when we go for our press up movement. So now we've got our arms in the correct position, we've thought about our elbows and how they're going to move, we're now going to think about our hips. So before you start the movement, I want you to think about slightly raising your hips up and then think about, can I feel my midline supporting me? Can I feel it switched on? If it's switched on and braced, you're in the perfect position then to start that press up without that lower back breaking, those hips dropping underneath you. Finally, we're going to think about our head position. Typically, we see a lot of people trying to reach for the floor with their chins, okay? And then as they push themselves back up to the top, they push their heads right back behind them. Okay, what I want you to visualise is keeping the tennis ball between your chin and your chest the whole time. So from this position here, we've set our elbows, we've got our midline switched on, and now our head is going to stay fixed in that position the whole time. And it shouldn't change as we go through. Okay, so 3 key points to our press up. Tennis ball between the chin and chest, keep that head fixed, create that arrow position with our elbows and our heads to form that arrow, and then finally switch that midline on so that lower back doesn't dip underneath.